Welcome back, class. Last time we watched the metabolic meltdown unfold. Glucose, trapped outside. Insulin, ignored. Inflammation, out of control. But here's the good news. Type 2 diabetes is not a life sentence. The key to reversing it: fix insulin resistance plus restore beta cell function equals reversal. It's about removing what causes the damage. Reduce what maintains the damage. Increase what repairs the system. Simple idea, powerful outcome. Now let's meet the new crew. The ones working to unlock those doors. Clear the static.
Hey there, I'm Soluble Fiber. You'll find me here in the colon. Because honestly, I don't get digested like most things. Enzymes, acids, nope. I just glide right past it. Unbothered, undigested, unstoppable. But don't think I'm slacking off. On the way here, I slow sugar absorption. No wild blood sugar spikes on my watch. I even put the brakes on fat, giving your small intestine a break from getting slammed by greasy overload. I'm like a buffer, with benefits. Then when I finally reach the colon, boom, I'm a prebiotic feast, like butyrate, propionate, and acetate. These little guys calm inflammation, help repair the gut lining, and even tell your brain when you're full. Some bacteria even whip up a few vitamins on the side. Real multitaskers. So yeah, I may not get digested, but don't call me useless. I'm Soluble Fiber, gut fuel, sugar tamer, fat blocker, and microbial MVP.
All right. Make some room. I'm Insoluble Fiber. Yeah, I know. I don't look like her. But we're related. Kinda like plant-based siblings. She's all soft and flowy. Me? I don't dissolve in water. Not even close. You can soak me all day and I'll still show up looking like roughage. I'm bulk. I'm grit. I give you stool shape and keep things moving through the pipes. But don't let that fool you. I'm not just here to sweep up after the party. I stimulate peristalsis. That's your gut's natural rhythm that pushes waste along. I help prevent constipation, clean out toxins, and keep your inner plumbing running smooth. I also protect the gut lining by keeping pressure balanced and inflammation in check. Some studies even suggest I reduce the risk of colon cancer. Not bad for a guy made of bran and veggie skins, right? Together, we're the fiber twins. She's the silky support. I'm the structural muscle. You need us both if you want a gut that works like it should. So go ahead, eat your greens, chew your seeds, and load up on whole grains. Because without me, everything slows. And trust me, nobody wants that.
I'm Complex Carb, and I'm not the enemy. Yeah, you've already met my sister, Simple Carb. She means well, but she's the one crashing parties and blood sugar levels. And maybe you've heard, all carbs are bad. Well, I'm here to clear that up, once and for all. Cutting refined carbs, 100% yes. Soda, white bread, pastries, absolutely ditch them. But cutting out all carbs, including me. That's a recipe for brain fog, low energy, and hanger that could take down a bear. Your body, especially your brain, runs on glucose. But not the quick hit kind. I break down slowly. I give you stable energy, smoother blood sugar, and long-term fuel. Whole food carbs, like beans, lentils, quinoa, sweet potatoes, they come packed with fiber, nutrients, and steady power. And guess what? Diets with 50 to 70% of calories from the right carbs can reverse insulin resistance. That's not a guess, that's the science. So don't fall for the carb panic. You don't heal your metabolism by starving it. I'm Complex Carb, and I'm not the enemy. I'm the fuel your system was built to run on.
So this is the famous low-carb power plate. Steak, bacon, cheese, and eggs. High in fat, high in protein, and low in literally everything your body actually needs. Calories, nearly 900. Fat, you've already hit your daily limit. Saturated fat, you're breaking records. And protein, sure, it's high. But let's talk about what too much protein actually does. See, when you flood the system with protein, especially from meat and cheese, it flips on a key metabolic switch. Think of it like shouting into your body's control room. Make sugar, burn muscle, confuse insulin. Excess protein boosts a hormone called glucagon, which tells your liver, hey, let's turn that steak into sugar. Yeah. Even on a low-carb diet, you're making your own carbs from protein. And your poor pancreas, it's trying to keep up, but the signal's jammed. That protein messes with insulin's ability to open doors and let glucose in, so you get high blood sugar, while still thinking you're eating healthy. And your kidneys? Already doing overtime if you've got diabetes. Now you drop a protein load on them like a dumbbell in a glass sink. Studies show too much protein, especially from animals, speeds up kidney damage and clogs up the plumbing. And let's be honest, this plate doesn't just lack carbs. It lacks fiber, antioxidants, polyphenols, phytonutrients, flavonoids,
Zero fiber
and common
means
your
sense.
microbiome is starving. That's like trying to run a city with no sanitation workers. You might feel full, but your cells are exhausted, inflamed, and begging for a banana. Now this bowl, oats, flax, chia, only
berries,
400 to
walnuts,
450
it's the
calories
breakfast
that shows
12
up
to
with
15
grams
grams
of fiber. Most of it's soluble. Which means your gut bacteria throw a fiber fiesta and start pumping out SCFAs, nature's anti-inflammatory magic. You've got omega-3s calming things down, plant protein supporting muscles, and actual nutrients your body can use without needing a hazard suit for plants. And you can lower your risk of type 2 diabetes by 18%. That's not a hack, that's a strategy. So yeah, protein's important. Now take a good look. This isn't just breakfast. This is a fiber-rich, anti-inflammatory, glucose-stabilizing power bowl. Start with oats, slow-cooked in creamy, calcium-fortified soy milk. Not only is soy milk one of the few complete plant proteins, meaning it's got all 9 essential amino acids, but it also brings a little something extra to the table.
in the
Soy contains natural compounds
They're like
called
nature's whispers of
isoflavones,
estrogen.
not shout. And for people, especially postmenopausal women, they can help protect bone density and may even offer some defense against breast cancer. In fact, studies show that women who eat more soy tend to have lower breast cancer risk, and survivors who keep soy in their diet may have better outcomes. So forget the myths. Soy isn't the villain. It might just be the ally. Then we add ground flax, chia seeds, blueberries, walnuts, and pumpkin seeds, all packed with fiber, healthy fats, antioxidants, and crunch. And now let's talk about the unsung heroes of flavor and function. Cinnamon and vanilla. 2 ingredients that make your oatmeal sing and your blood sugar behave. First, cinnamon, not just a cozy spice. It actually helps your cells respond to insulin, slows down carb digestion, and can lower your fasting blood sugar over time. It's like a metabolic wingman, sweet and supportive. Just make sure you're using Ceylon cinnamon if you're sprinkling it daily. It has all the benefits without the potential liver stress from its look-alike cousin cassia. And then there's vanilla. Not just for baking. Real vanilla extract is full of antioxidants, has gentle anti-inflammatory powers, and makes everything taste sweeter without needing any sugar. Plus, that smell, it speaks directly to your brain's reward center, calming, satisfying, and just nostalgic enough to keep you out of the cookie jar. So go ahead.
All right, class, let's
Spice
talk
your
fat,
breakfast
because
like
it's
a
not about
scientist.
cutting all fat.
Flavor
It's about
that
choosing
heals
fats
is
that
flavor
heal
worth
instead of
savoring.
harm.
Yep, these slippery little molecules can either fuel your body or throw a metabolic tantrum. Remember this troublemaker from last time? Meet SFA, saturated fat, thick, sticky, loves chaos, especially when fried, creamy, or bacon-wrapped. Found in meat, cheese, butter, and all those baked goodies, sure tastes great, but inside your body, yikes! Think of saturated fat as a nightclub bouncer who hates insulin, blocking glucose from getting into your cells and fanning the flames of inflammation. When you're trying to reverse your cell membranes, diabetes sabotages insulin signaling and basically ruins everyone's metabolic trials like Dr. Dean Ornish's Lifestyle Heart Trial and Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn's landmark studies clearly show dramatic improvements when saturated fat intake stays low, below 10% of total calories. Less saturated fat means happier cells, smoother insulin action, and calmer inflammation. But remember, SFA doesn't work alone. Let's meet the rest of the fat gang.
Hey there, I'm trans fat. You might not always see me, but rest assured, I'm lurking quietly in the background, hidden, sneaky, and notoriously hard to find. But don't worry, you can usually catch a little glimpse of me in most fried foods, processed snacks, margarine, pastries, even tucked away quietly in your favorite meats. I've got connections, especially with the regulators. You see, as long as I stay just under half a gram per serving, I legally get to show up as a big fat 0 on your food label. So if you think 0 grams trans fat means I'm gone, think again. I'm just better at hide and seek than most fats, and trust me, I'm winning.
Hey there, folks. Omega-6 here. You've probably seen me around. I'm in processed vegetable oils like corn, soybean, sunflower, and safflower. Fried foods, baked snacks, salad, dressings, name it, and I've probably been there. Now, to be fair, I'm not really a villain. Your immune system actually needs me. I'm like your body's built-in alarm system, ready to alert your immune cells when trouble hits. But let's be real. Most of you consume way more of me than your body's bargained for. Imagine having a car alarm that goes off for every leaf that touches the windshield. Yeah, not fun. Too much of me keeps your immune system on a hair trigger, sounding alarms for hangnails. And that's when inflammation, liver stress, and confused insulin signaling starts showing up, uninvited and ready to party. Here's why it matters. I'm constantly competing with my calmer cousin Omega-3. We both want control, but if your diet is drowning in processed foods, Omega-3 doesn't stand a chance. And trust me, you want Omega-3 calling some shots around here. So here's my advice. Keep your Omega-6 to Omega-3 ratio in check, ideally under 4-to-1. That means for every 4 parts of me, invite at least 1 part Omega-3 to the party. Balance things out with flax, chia seeds, walnuts, leafy greens, and less of me from processed snacks and fried foods. Remember, I'm essential, but moderation is key. Trust me, your cells will thank you.
Hello. Omega-3 here. Your friendly neighborhood peacekeeper, healer, and Zen master of fats. You'll find me relaxing comfortably in flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, seaweed, and, for those who aren't entirely plant-based, fatty fish like salmon and sardines. But let me clarify something. I'm not just brain food. I'm full-body diplomacy. You see, when my hyperactive cousin Omega-6 gets carried away, sounding alarm bells over every tiny thing, I gently step in, calming things down and whispering, "Hey friend, let's not set the place on fire today." I cool inflammation, support flexible cell membranes, boost mood, and even help sharpen your memory. And here's the really good news for anyone working to reverse type 2 diabetes. I'm your VIP guest. Research consistently shows I reduce insulin resistance, lower inflammation, improve triglycerides, and help keep your liver happy and healthy. But remember, I can't work my magic alone. Omega-6 and I are always in a nutritional tug-of-war. If processed foods overload your diet, my calming voice gets drowned out. That's why keeping your omega-6 to omega-3 ratio below 4:1 is so crucial. So, load up on your flax, chia, walnuts, leafy greens, and healthy seaweed snacks. Clear some stage space for me. And I promise to keep inflammation at bay and insulin sensitivity high. Remember, balance brings peace, and peace brings health.
Hey folks, I'm MUFA, short for monounsaturated fat, but nobody calls me that at parties. Honestly, I'm not the flashy type. You'll find me quietly at work in olives, avocados, almonds, peanuts, and of course, extra virgin olive oil. No drama, no fuss. I'm your dependable cellular handyman. While other fats are out there sparking the inflammation, clogging things up, or trying too hard to put out fires, I'm just here fixing leaks, patching membranes, and keeping your metabolic plumbing running smoothly. If your body were a city, I'd be your public works department, filling potholes, repairing wiring, maintaining infrastructure, and generally making sure everything works without causing a scene. And here's the kicker. I don't just quietly lower insulin resistance. I actively restore your cell's sensitivity to insulin. Clinical studies consistently show diets rich in MUFA, like the Mediterranean diet, improve glycemic control, reduce inflammation, and even lower your risk of type 2 diabetes. So next time you drizzle olive oil, munch on almonds, or spread some creamy avocado, just picture me inside your body, quietly getting the job done. No fanfare required. MUFA, your metabolism's quiet, steady, unsung hero.
All right, class, grab your forks and fasten your pancreases, because it's time to talk strategy. How do we feed your cells in a way that reverses type 2 diabetes without giving up flavor, fun, or fiber? We're using a 2,000 calorie a day plan as an example, but this isn't one of those 3 almonds and a prayer kind of diets. You're going to eat real food, and your blood sugar's going to behave. Let's start with the most misunderstood hero of the metabolic world, carbs. Yep, I said it, carbs. But not donut drive-through carbs. We're talking whole food carbs, oats, lentils, beans, sweet potatoes, fruits, quinoa. The kind that still look like food, not something made in a lab with a cartoon mascot on the box. 60-75% of calories, 300-375 grams day. Now, before anyone panics, remember, these carbs come with fiber. Lots of fiber. And that changes everything. Fiber goal, 40-50 grams per day. Fiber slows sugar absorption, feeds your microbiome, reduces inflammation, and keeps things moving. Think of fiber as your digestive yoga instructor, calming, stretching, and helping everything flow. Rule number 1, no added sugar. Glucose, fructose, corn syrup, those are just little metabolic chaos agents. Next up, protein. Important, yes, but let's keep it in perspective. You don't need to eat like a bodybuilder prepping for a shirtless photo shoot. Target 10-15% of calories, 50-75 grams. Stick with plant-based proteins like tofu, tempeh, beans, lentils, and quinoa. They're high in fiber and low in drama. No cholesterol, no hormones, and no inflammation party crashers. Too much animal protein lights up mTOR and IGF-1 like a biochemical Christmas tree. accelerating aging, increasing insulin resistance, and generally making metabolic matters worse. Fat. The richest macronutrient. Also the most likely to sneak past your defenses and mess with your insulin signaling. Target: 10 to 15% of calories, 20-35 grams day. And that's total fat, not just the extra from just a splash of oil on everything. The good stuff? MUFA: olives, avocados, almonds, peanuts. PUFA: especially omega-3, chia, flax, walnuts. Limit saturated fat less than 10% of calories, ideally closer to 5 to 7 grams per day for reversal goals. Avoid completely trans fat. No amount is safe, not even a crumb. Omega-6 versus omega-3. Balance is everything. Think of omega-6 and omega-3 like two kids fighting over the remote. If omega-6 hogs the couch, hello corn oil, fried foods, and processed snacks, omega-3 gets kicked to the floor and inflammation wins. Healthy ratio: under 4:1. That means for every 4 parts omega-6, get at least 1 part omega-3. So ditch the processed oils and invite in flax, chia, walnuts, and leafy greens. Omega-3's ready to negotiate peace. This isn't about deprivation, it's about precision. You're not starving yourself. You're finally feeding your body what it actually wants. So build your plate like a pro. High fiber carbs, zero modest, trans clean fat, protein, lies. Low
Before
total
we
fat
move on,
with the
let's
right
talk about
kinds.
the most
No fluff,
underrated nutrient
no
in
fake
the room.
food, and definitely
Hydration
no
isn't just
zero
about quenching
trans fat
thirst.
lies. It's about keeping your entire system functioning smoothly. Water helps your blood flow better, which means insulin circulates more efficiently. It supports your kidneys in flushing out excess sugar. It even helps your cells unlock energy more effectively. And get this, being dehydrated can actually raise your blood sugar. Your body hoards water and your liver thinks you're in a crisis and starts pumping out glucose. Not helpful. So how much water do you need? Forget 8 cups for everyone. The real target is simpler. Drink enough to keep your pee a nice light yellow. For most folks, that means 8 to 12 cups a day. More if you're sweating like you mean it, or you live somewhere hotter than your microwave. Water doesn't need to sparkle. It doesn't need to taste like blueberries. It just needs to show up. Now, while plain water is essential, some drinks do more than hydrate. They help heal. Let's meet a few of my favorite functional brews. Green tea. Rich in EGCG, a plant compound that supports insulin sensitivity, boosts metabolism, and helps calm your cells. Basically, the spa day your pancreas didn't know it needed. Chamomile tea soothes your nervous system, helps with sleep. And yes, sleep matters for blood sugar. A good night's rest can improve insulin sensitivity the next day. So drink this and hit the pillow like a pro. Ginger tea. Zesty and powerful, it reduces inflammation, helps lower blood sugar after meals, and keeps digestion smooth. Plus, it warms you up without burning your pancreas. Cinnamon tea. Supports insulin action and smooths out post-meal glucose spikes. Just be sure it's Ceylon cinnamon, not cassia. One's therapeutic. The other's got a side of liver stress if you overdo it. Peppermint tea. Soothes digestion and stress. 2 sneaky culprits behind unexpected glucose spikes. Also makes you feel like your insides just brushed their teeth. And what about coffee? Ah yes, coffee. In moderation and black, it can improve insulin sensitivity and lower your risk of type 2 diabetes. Just don't turn it into dessert. What if you need it sweet? Okay. If your tongue is begging for sweetness, here are your best bets. Whole leaf stevia, not the bleached, refined packets. Monk fruit in small doses. Date paste or cinnamon, whole food and flavorful. And the ones to avoid, aspartame sucralose saccharin. They may be low in calories, but they're high in confusion for your microbiome. These artificial sweeteners have been linked to changes in gut bacteria, increased insulin resistance, and metabolic confusion. They're
Here's
like
the thing,
prank
nobody
calls
really talks
to your
about.
endocrine
You
system.
don't
just heal by
Hydration
adding
isn't
good
just
stuff.
about how
You
much you
heal by
drink.
giving your body
It's
a
about
break from the
what you
constant
drink.
incoming. And the most powerful way to do that? Stop eating for a little while. This is called intermittent fasting. Or more accurately, time-restricted eating. Now, don't panic. I'm not talking about starvation, juice cleanses, or sipping air soup. This is just eating your meals within a certain window. Instead of grazing all day like a distracted goat, you confine eating to, say, an 8 to 10 hour window and give your body a solid 14 to 16 hours to reset, repair, and reboot. Time-restricted eating does a few key things. Improves insulin sensitivity. Reduces your metabolic crew, helps lower inflammation, interrupted if your liver outbreaks by around. And guess what? Sugar processing. Even just moving breakfast a little later and ending dinner a little earlier can make a real difference. Start with a 12-hour window, say 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and then tighten it if and when it feels right for you. Think of it like cleaning up a party. You don't host back-to-back guests all night long and expect your house to stay tidy. You need a cleanup window. But what about meds? Now, real talk, if you're on insulin or blood sugar lowering medications, you need to work with your doctor before changing meal timing. Because when your body starts responding better to insulin, and it will, your medications might need adjusting. Otherwise, you risk low blood sugar, and nobody wants a hypoglycemic crash halfway through a yoga class. So no, you don't need to fear food. But you also don't need to feed the system every few hours like it's a puppy with separation anxiety. I recommend checking out the most healing thing you can do is a nephrologist who's helped thousands of patients use fasting into the science behind type 2 diabetes, not just manage it. His books and lectures break it down in plain language with actual results behind them. All right, we've come a long way. You now know how to lower insulin resistance, support your liver, give your pancreas a break, and build meals that reverse disease, not just manage it. But healing blood sugar isn't just about what's on your plate, it's about what's happening in your whole life. Want to know what spikes blood sugar just as much as a sugary drink? Sleep deprivation, high cortisol, emotional burnout, they all hit your insulin receptors like a wrecking ball. That's why in the future we'll talk about how stress rewires your metabolism, how sleep impacts glucose tolerance, and how movement, especially resistance training, makes your muscles hungry for glucose in all the right ways. So if you're ready to keep learning, stay curious and stay connected. Check the links below this video for science-backed resources, meal guides, and follow-up episodes. Reversing type 2. Diabetes is not just possible. It's happening every day in real people just like you. You don't have to wait for perfect. You just have to start. From your cells to your spirit, healing is built in. Let's tap into it, one choice at a time. See you in the next episode.